Hey everyone, Joe Cosentino. Welcome to our latest episode of Coffee with Cosentino. Today we have a great special friend of ours, Chef George Jacinto. Thank you, George.
Joe,
Thank you for
awesome.
coming.
Damn, my pleasure.
And tell everyone, what you do and what place you own.
All right, my name is Giorgio Giacinto. I own the Giorgio restaurant in New Rochelle, New York. We've
great.
been there 16 years,
Nice.
which is an amazing thing in its own.
Sure.
I'm the chef owner.
What days are you open?
So we are blessed to only be open 5 days a week. It's something I'll never go back to. After COVID, we decided that we were going to open up Wednesday through Sunday. We do not open for lunch. At first it started because we just couldn't find enough help. Yeah. But then we realized that whoever wasn't coming on Tuesday was coming in on Wednesday. Wednesday became our best day of the week.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden it just became like,
Just
I don't know, almost like one of those things where it's like, we were so busy that it was like, why change anything? And it,
if
it
not broke, don't
compacted the
fix it.
days. Yeah, it compacted the days. It
Makes your life easier.
It
You can
makes
go
my
shopping.
life
I know you
easier.
do a lot of your own
I do
shopping.
a lot, and you know what? The place always looks busy, and perception is important.
And
so,
the food is always excellent.
Yeah, so it's working, and
Congratulations.
I'm not going back.
No.
I'm not going back. Like my Monday and Tuesday, I used to work like that schedule, and then Mondays became like, for me and my family, was like, guys, what are we doing on Monday? It better be nice out. It better. Now we have, like, if it's not nice out on Monday, we always got Tuesday to look forward to. So
good.
It's great. Thank God we're sticking with it. Yeah.
And
For now.
speaking of your family, where do you come from? Tell everyone where were you
So
born?
I am born and raised in the Bronx, and still in the Bronx. It's a little
probably the last one left.
Yeah.
But
Listen. I spoke about this. I actually spoke to one of my best friends this morning. You know, it's funny because a lot of people say, you're one of the last ones left, but
you're in Pelham Gardens and you have a
beautiful
house.
Yes,
and
yes,
set up
and it's
nice.
great. But I'm lucky enough to have my Aunt Val's right next to me. My mother is a few blocks away. My best friend, one of my brothers lives around the block. My father-in-law is 2 blocks away. So it's this weird thing where when my kids were between 9 and 10 years old, it was always like, Daddy, when we move in, and it was like, next year, next year. Now they're in school in Westchester, and everything we do is in Westchester.
Yep.
I just don't see the move happening anytime soon. But it's a weird dynamic. But right now we love it, and it works, man.
Yeah,
it works. It works. I tried to move a few times, and right now it's
tough,
working. It's a cool thing to. They, like I said, they do most of their stuff in Westchester, but then they live in the Bronx.
And you come home
and they get a little bit of both. I don't know.
It's
kind
good
of
to
feels a
be-
little bit like the way we
Well, I
grew up.
grew up kind of that way too. 'Cause
Yeah,
we
sure.
moved
When
from
your
the
kids were my
Bronx,
age, you were in the Bronx.
and I was in the Bronx. But when I was in like your kids' age, we moved to Westchester.
And hopefully that's the way
it
it's
is
my
nice.
trajectory
'Cause
might be
you
like
get
that. So,
some Westchester friends, you get some Bronx friends,
Yep.
and then as you go to college and you meet other friends, you know, you
How old was your daughter when you moved to Eastchester?
well, my oldest was 21.
So it might,
Yeah.
it might be something like
But
that.
they were already going to school up there, so
There you
she
go.
kind of, she
Same
still
thing.
wants to come back to the Bronx.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I want to go back to the Bronx. I'm
Yeah.
like, so when you're ready, you buy your own house in the Bronx.
I just don't know where to go, Joe. I really don't.
It's tough.
I
The
didn't fall in love
taxes,
with
the
anything.
prices, and I have friends of mine that sold their house here. It took them a year and a half to find a house. It's just the market is so competitive right now that if you're not ready to buy, you got a house to sell and buy, it's very, very stressful. So,
I've played football in Westport, Connecticut. It was one of the most beautiful towns I ever been in.
Nice.
Like that, to me, I would move there.
It's a nice area.
I don't know if I could pull that off.
Yeah,
so it's like
a tough drive.
I like Rye. I like
all the expensive places.
Where am I going? So for now, we're all right. We're
Good,
all right.
good.
We'll see.
Well,
God has a plan, and I think
no,
it'll work out for me. Yeah,
you're in a good spot.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the
It take.
prices of the houses in that in Pelham Gardens are only going up. You know, from what I see, people are putting money back into their homes. They
Mm-hmm.
keep the properties nice.
Yep.
So it's not the way we grew up, but
No,
it's still
no,
a
no,
good,
no,
solid,
no. It's changing.
safe neighborhood. Right.
It's
But
changing.
you still gotta watch. You
Yeah.
know, it still is the city, and it still is. You know,
That's the other thing.
you
Like
gotta have a little bit of an edge on you.
being in the restaurant business, I honestly, truly, truly believe this. If I wasn't in the restaurant business, I really do believe I would have left already.
Yeah.
Every Monday or Tuesday, we do go to the city
Right.
and we try different restaurants. That's one of our big things as a
That's
family that we
nice. Yeah.
like to do. And I tell them all the time, guys, once we go, that's done.
Yeah.
We can't. We're not 20 minutes from the Upper
No.
West Side or
Yeah.
the Upper East Side.
Right.
And I do believe that's one of the things, and it's something that I think when they get older that they'll remember that we
Yeah.
used to go to the city all the time, and it was very close.
It's
We could
great.
go to Brooklyn, we could go to Queens, we can go to the city, we can go to Westchester. There's
Sure. You're
amazing
like right in the
restaurants in
middle
Westchester
of.
now.
Speaking of restaurants, tell everyone obviously what is your occupation?
My occupation is I am the chef and owner of the Giorgio's restaurant.
Great. And were you always a chef? Or tell everyone,
So,
yeah,
oh, it's
tell
wild.
them how you got into this
Yeah.
because it's
So
crazy from a guy from the Bronx
mhm.
and how you got to where you are.
I had a
It's
wild ride. I always grew up in, when I was younger, my father he had a wedding band, so he
right,
always knew people in the restaurant business. So once I was old enough to get a job, I said, busing, this, that, and the other thing. So Villa Barone Manor. I used to remember when Sorrento's, before they had the
sure,
machines, when I was 12 years old, I was shredding
wow,
cheese by hand at Sorrento's, me and my brother
amazing,
in the back. So we used to do that. I did a lot of that. So when I was a junior in high school, unfortunately, my father passed away, and I was
yeah.
like, trying to make a decision. College probably wasn't in the cards for me, so said maybe culinary school would be a good idea, and thank God it all worked out. So went to culinary school.
Where'd you go? What
I
school?
went to New York Restaurant School.
Nice,
It's changed names over the
yeah,
years. I think it's
that's
ICE. It became Peter Kumps. Um,
but
but still, I think it's
that's the
the
biggest
same.
one around. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, I wanted to go to the
oh,
CIA. I wanted
of
to go to
course,
Johnson and Wales. It wasn't in the cards for me.
yeah,
But I think just like anything else, college, anything else, it's what you make of it.
right.
Um,
Yes, today kids are so
I don't even think I
focused.
would recommend somebody going to culinary school nowadays. I'd tell
Right.
them to come with
Work for
somebody
you,
like me.
right?
See if you like it. If you like it and you could deal with it and enjoy it, then
Yeah,
absolutely go to culinary school and
right.
get your degree. And because there's a lot that goes into it.
A lot of dedication. Like
Yep.
I've had a lot of guests that are friends of mine. We grew up together, so it's basically you have to give up a lot.
You give up a lot, and they teach you that.
Weekends,
They
yeah.
teach you that in culinary school. I remember when I signed up, my mom and I sat there, and they told us you get 2 days off, 2 sick days, basically.
Oh my
If
goodness.
you go anything past that, you would have to come up with like doctor's notes or
Right.
everything, or you lose the tuition.
Wow.
They wanted to prepare you for basically not taking days off.
Yeah.
Man, in my business, you just don't take days off.
Yeah.
It's just the way
You
it
can't just
is.
call in sick and say, "Oh,
I
take
had a
over the
st-
line for me today."
Joe, I had a stomach virus two
Yeah.
weeks ago, Wednesday night. Guess
Right.
what I had to do? I had to close the restaurant.
Close the restaurant.
Yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
You cannot, and
Yeah, you can't
and
go in sick making, and I've been in your kitchen, it's immaculate, and I've seen a lot of kitchens, and to go in not feeling well or with a
and the heat
cold
and the
or,
heat.
yeah,
No, it's
and then
brutal.
you're cooking people's food and you want to be clean and
Yep,
sanitary,
yep,
obviously.
yep.
So
It was
it's challenge. People don't think about that
oh,
stuff.
it's a challenge,
Yeah,
man.
it's a
It's a
challenge.
challenge. But again, I wouldn't do anything different. But um,
That's great
and
that you,
then I did it, and like you said, Joe, everybody else is going out
yep,
partying, blah blah. So I was 21, and I said, I'm not doing this.
yeah.
I'm not doing. I got to try something
Well, your
else.
brother was always out with
I'm
us,
sure.
clubs,
Yeah.
partying.
Yes. This is good old days. I took a break for about 2 years. I was DJing at the time. I had my own DJ company. I went and I did some phys ed. I was coaching basketball. Um, my aunt had opened up a restaurant. Remember the Wedge Inn?
Yeah.
All right, the Wedge Inn became this place called Manja.
I remember
So
that.
my
Yeah.
aunt had told me, look, why don't you come in the summer? I was teaching, be
Yeah.
a waiter, you make a couple extra bucks. First night, everyone's working, place is packed. There was a fight in the kitchen,
Wow.
pretty big fight.
Wow.
All the chefs walk out.
Wow.
They're like, who knows how to cook? I'm like, I think I do. And that was the
That was
last
it.
day. After
It's
that,
all
I
she
was in
wrote.
the kitchen. And from there on in, then I
Right.
moved to Italy. I spent a year in Italy. I
That was
worked
great.
all over the place. And
So how was Italy? That must have been an
Italy
experience.
was amazing, man.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I went right after 9/11. Um, I went in February, so
Right.
September 9/11. I went in February. I went downtown. I picked up as much memorabilia as I could. I picked up little figurines of the Twin Towers, T-shirts,
Right.
you name it. I filled up a little briefcase full of all that stuff. And I would go to different restaurants in Italy and I said, look, I got this,
Right.
I got that. I'll give it to you. Can I spend the day with you? And then next thing you know, I'd hang out, become friends. They'd send me to another place, send me to another place.
Wow.
Before you know it, I did about 30, between 30 and 35 places in
Amazing.
about a year. Yeah. And I
Wow.
just in and
Must have
out.
been an
They
experience.
didn't give me any
What part of
money.
Italy were you in?
I started in Calabria. I went to Rome. From
Right.
Rome, I went to Tuscany. I went to Milan,
Nice.
Bologna, and then back to Calabria.
Nice.
But
So that's how you
yeah,
got all these different dishes in your restaurant because it's not
yeah,
just
no,
Southern style.
yeah,
People
absolutely.
that haven't been to the
Hmm.
Giorgio, it's all different. And you
Definitely.
mix up a lot of things.
I
It's
try
always a
and mix up.
creation.
I'll even throw some Asian stuff in there.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
The best thing is waking up every morning and not knowing exactly what you're going to do.
Right.
To me is a beautiful thing. I go
Every day's
shopping, I
every
find,
day's a different adventure. It's not
yep,
so boring and mundane.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. I say every day is almost like a boxing match. You wake up, you start round one, you're
Right.
throwing a few blows, then you get hit, you get back up. By the
Sure.
end of the day, you
Guy
hope to
calls
be a
out
winner.
sick. Now you got to do,
And that was
juggle
yesterday.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
So when you're not working and you're not cooking, what do you like to do for fun? Recreation, sports? Like what's your time off like?
I used to love to play football.
Yeah.
I always said I would play until I was 50
What
years
team?
old.
What team? What's your favorite team?
So sports wise, I really only really I love fantasy football. I'm addicted to
Yeah.
fantasy football. Just I'm sure like everyone
Everybody
that's
else.
watching this show is,
Right.
and I like to say I'm really good at it too. I know more than you. No, I don't. But I love that. But like the Knicks are probably my only
Right.
real
Which we had a
sports team
great
I
season
love.
this year.
Oh,
It was what a ride.
what a ride.
To
What a
be a
ride.
Knicks fan again, it's like, you kind of fell away from it because the teams were so bad.
Joe, I loved it so
Yeah,
much. I
it
had such a
was.
good time, and my wife fell in love with it, which was even better.
Yeah,
She fell in love with it, like wanted to watch every game. Now
right.
she's still watching the finals. Um,
Nice.
so for that, that was great. But believe it or not, my son stays in his room,
Right.
plays video games. Me, my daughter, and my wife
Imagine.
watch the games. Oh, she gets so
Yeah.
upset. It's like, I can't believe he's not downstairs watching the game with us. So I'm like,
Well,
leave
you
him
better
alone.
start watching it.
Leave him alone for now. He
That's it.
watches, he picks it up. But so sports wise, I was a Dolphin fan.
Yep.
That's pretty good,
Yeah.
not bad.
Not bad. A
But
lot of
I'm a Sunday.
lot of Dolphin
I was a
fans.
weekend warrior for a
Yeah.
long time,
Sure.
very long, and I loved it. Um, I got
Yeah.
old, Joe.
Oh,
I can't
stop.
move
You're
around no
young.
more.
Come on.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
hernia. I got
Well,
to take
football,
care
you
of.
got to kind of give up.
I
That's
was
why we play
worried.
golf now.
I got to learn.
You got to learn, but
I
you
got
need
to
the
learn.
time. It's
Yeah,
tough. Yeah.
I got to learn.
You got Mondays are good to play. A lot of
I
courses
feel
are
like I'm a
closed.
fantastic athlete. I could probably
Yeah.
figure it out pretty good.
Yeah. You
No,
definitely could.
I don't know.
You
This
swing
swing
a
is tough.
club and
Yeah.
yeah, it's easy game to pick up. It's just mechanical. A lot of people don't want to try it because of the mechanics of it.
See, I would give it a shot. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'll figure it out. You know what I mean?
Listen, and at this age, you can't be running around. I mean, I know friends of mine are still playing basketball. It's not easy.
I love that so
Yeah,
much, man. I
just
love it
just the
so much.
cardio of it
Yep.
alone.
Right before COVID, got into a game up in White Plains. Was loving
Yeah,
it. But I remember the first time I went, bunch of guys my age, and
right.
I'm like, all right, we'll play zone. They're like, no, man to man. I'm like, what? Bro, the first
And you're in the
15 minutes,
corner
I'm
like,
like, I'm tapping out. I'm tapping out. They were in
uh,
fantastic shape, these guys.
oh,
God
sure.
bless them. And older
Just to
than
run
me.
up and down the
And
court
older than
playing
me.
man.
Yeah. I couldn't,
It's
I was
your
like,
knee the
guys,
next
please,
day. You're like,
zone,
yeah,
zone. That's why they created
it's
it. So we
crazy.
could play when we get older. I couldn't believe it.
That's it.
Yeah. So but I do love to play sports.
Good. Well, you
Right now
keep
I ride
yourself
my
in great
bike.
shape. I
I
mean, you're
ride my
still in
bike.
great. Yeah, you do
My
a lot.
biggest things, if it's nice out on Monday, I'll take my bike all the way to, I go to City
Pensacola.
Island.
Oh,
I go to
that's a
Sammy's.
nice.
Yep.
Obviously, I always like to ask people. It's hard to think about, but your dreams. Where do you see yourself, your restaurant, your business in the next 5 years?
Yeah. So I kind of knew you would ask this question. So I was like literally trying to prepare myself for the question
Because a
because
lot
it's
of people say, you know what, I don't think about 5 years, and I'm so busy in the moment or thinking about the past. But really, you should be looking to the future.
100%. I mean, I know when we went to culinary school, one of the thing is to write out a 5-year
Right.
plan and keep writing them out as the years go by.
That's the
Um,
business side of the school teaching you that.
yep, and
Yeah.
they did,
And a lot of good chefs are not good business owners. So as you know.
I listen. I am probably my worst critic, right?
Yeah.
So I've been there for 16 years, so I have to be doing something
Oh
right.
yeah. No, you're doing good.
But, but
And
I
I
will
think the
say,
number one business that fails is restaurants.
it's but I will say this. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I think about food. I'm watching
Right.
food videos. I
Right.
want to see what I can create, what I can do, what I can make new. I don't think about the bill that needs to be paid or
Right.
the taxes or that. Listen, those have to be done.
Right.
And luckily, we are. If I was in business 30 years ago, where you had to actually
Hand right.
and send checks out and stuff like that,
Yeah.
if it wasn't all where all my stuff is automated and the
Right.
bill gets paid no matter what,
Right.
thank God,
Thank God. Yeah.
that works for
That
me.
takes something off your plate.
100%,
So you
Joe.
like the automation part
Oh
because a
my
lot of
God,
people don't like that.
Joe, I couldn't live without it.
Right.
You know what I
So
mean?
you have like
The
a
only thing I
computer
have to remember is
software
sales
and
tax. Yeah. The only thing I have to remember is sales tax. And thank God I got
yeah.
our buddy Paul. He reminds me. And that's really the only thing I have to remember. Everything else is automated
Right.
and I get done. So literally at the end of the week, I have no bills.
Right.
I mean,
That's
all
good.
my bills are paid, thank God. And
So how
so
do you
my
see that going
dream,
into the future?
a lot of things have happened where I always say, I want to do something different. I
Right.
will not necessarily say bigger or better or anything like that, but something
Different.
different. And right now, I feel like the business is trending in a way where it seems like the places that are doing the best are doing pizza, pasta,
Right.
salads. It's difficult to turn a profit on a steak. It's
Right.
difficult to turn a profit on a piece of
Because of the price
tuna.
of food.
It's really hard.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I
you
don't
go in.
see that getting better.
No,
You know
not
what I
anytime
mean?
soon. Yeah.
It's tough.
And then
Um,
how do you save your clients money and then you got to give up a little on quality,
Joe, it's so hard.
which
This morning, last night, I do my seafood order 12 o'clock at night.
yeah.
Send me lemon sole. I want to do sole. I haven't done it in a while.
Right.
No problem. Sends me this morning. He says, it wasn't bad, the lemon sole. It was only $23.50 a pound.
My goodness.
And I'm like, what? 23.50 a pound? What the fuck? What am I what am I charging for
Yeah.
this
How are you
thing?
going to make money on that?
So I
Yeah.
hate more than anything when I have to charge somebody $45 for something. It
Yeah.
bothers me
I
because
know,
I
but
feel like I'm a
you gotta
neighborhood
make.
place
I
though.
know, but
I'm not in
you gotta
Manhattan.
turn a
No, you
profit,
do, but I feel like
yeah,
when you're in Manhattan and you're going out for dinner,
you're
you're kind of
expecting to pay.
expecting it.
Right.
When you're in a neighborhood place,
Yeah.
I mean, look, we do have the menu. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, there is
Yeah.
options.
Right.
Um, but
But I
it's
think the quality and the food you put out, people will pay extra.
I'm
I
hoping
would.
so.
I do.
I hope
And
that
no one's going to
you know,
complain about a
yeah,
couple
the
extra
soft shell
bucks. So,
crabs, our biggest
but
seller.
yeah, soft shell crabs are the best. I
Yeah,
mean, it's amazing the way
I
you cook
love.
those and
Yep.
prepare them. I
And
mean,
that at least I know that when they get it, I don't care what they pay for it,
no,
they're gonna
they're
love it.
gonna love
They're
it.
gonna
You
love
got to
it, and
try the
that's
soft
important.
shell
Yeah,
crabs.
social crabs is the way to go. Soft shell crabs, come and get them.
So, do you see yourself opening another restaurant?
I see myself opening up something different,
Okay,
not a second location.
got it.
You know, I do want to have something where, um, where there is a small bar.
Yeah.
I would love to have the dining room just the way it is now,
Mm-hmm.
but then like a separate
Right.
dining room where we could do parties
Right.
and not big parties, but
No,
just something of 20
birthday
people.
parties,
Yep. I just would like to,
anniversaries, things
yep.
like that.
My dream spot is to have eight, eight seats at a bar.
Right.
The dining room the way I have it now,
Right.
obviously not long and skinny. I'd like it to be more
A little
square,
wider. Right.
and then a little private room. So I guess total 70 seats.
Right.
Um,
And what about the kitchen? How would you do the open kitchen concept
I,
like
I,
Steve at
I
Moderanos?
don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I have the temperament. God bless you, Steve. We love you. I haven't met you yet,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I have
It's
the
tough to
temperament
do
to
that
do it, man.
because
I'll
then
tell you.
you're exposed to all your
And I have changed.
yeah.
I have. When I used to work 20 years ago, and I used to literally, and one of my best friends is Russ when we were at Palmer's Crossing. And I used to literally would be like, if you don't get rid of her in the next 10 minutes, I'm walking out. Like I used to do stupid
Yeah.
shit like that.
Right.
Where now I own my own place and I'm like, what did I do to this
Yeah.
guy?
Right. You
Like that
drove him
was
crazy.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were a crazy chef.
But I'm not.
All right.
I really am not like that no more. And now I'll never forget a guy told me when you yell all the time, then nobody knows when you're mad.
Right.
And if you're always kind of even keel, but then you get upset, then they know it's whoa,
Right.
something's
We
really going
better
down. Yeah.
right straighten
So
out.
I did try and at least now they know if I'm mad, something went down, something is wrong.
Right.
So they take it a little bit more seriously. When you yell
Yeah,
all
you
the
have
time,
to be
you have
serious
no legs to
sometimes.
be.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could joke around, but you got to really be like,
Hmm.
even in my business, like you're dealing with people's lives. You're dealing with
You more than
big
anything,
money, real estate, transactions, attorneys, title. There's so much moving,
Joe.
And if
What
you're
you do.
yelling all day at people, it's like when I want to talk to my son about school, it's like just noise. So if you got to really kind of just be stern a little bit, but not be
See,
yelling.
I don't know if I could do what you do. I think that's so. When we used to DJ, one of the reasons why I stopped was we started get booking weddings.
Right.
It became such a
Yeah.
responsibility
Yeah.
to do someone's wedding. I'll
Right.
never forget the first wedding we booked. The microphone broke. The stress that I got that night that I
Oh,
couldn't announce
oh.
what was going
The
on.
bride and groom. What did you do?
I don't know, scream.
Just scream. Wow.
It was
That's,
brutal. I honestly wanted to crawl under a
yeah.
rock and never come out of it. It was.
I mean, I've been in restaurants where the air condition broke and it's in the middle of the summer and the AC goes down. Packed restaurant. Now
See, but at that point, you just got to give everybody no check and let them
that's
go.
it. I
I
mean,
mean,
at that
there's
point, you can't sit there sweating and eating your dinner. You
no,
just got to get
no,
up and leave. I mean, the
no.
owner's like, "I'm sorry, my air condition broke." I'm like,
See, you have to eat the bill, though. I
"Yeah,
hope they do the right,
yeah, yeah." Yeah,
I was,
it was an experience. I'll never forget. I never went back, obviously, but
did they
it
take
was
care of the bill?
yeah, not really.
Yeah.
I just paid it. I didn't even ask. I just
Yeah,
give
yeah.
me the bill.
Yep, I'm out.
But I'm not gonna go sit in a hot restaurant and sweat.
No,
No,
how do you,
can't do it.
no.
You got to be comfortable.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
When we first opened up, we had the air conditioner
yeah,
that we
wasn't
bought.
enough,
And I did my best friend's daughter's communion. And we had 55 people, which
which
was
was a lot.
literally 10 people too much
Right.
to begin with.
Yeah,
Sweatbox.
yeah.
But I didn't
You
know.
didn't know.
I really
You
didn't
had
know.
probably a 5-ton unit that came with the when it was
Yep,
like an office.
yep. And
Now
I
you
didn't,
got
you
55
know,
people cooking
the food coming
the
out
food,
hot,
the heat
everything.
from the kitchen.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I really
people.
didn't. And then all of a
When
sudden, it
you're
was
that's
a
another thing.
terrible,
When they don't
literally,
teach you
Joe,
that in culinary
people,
school.
no. Again, that's why I feel like through, look, after my first 5 years, we did great. I
Yeah,
was on the show Chopped and we were ready to take off.
right.
Unfortunately, my brother passes away. My next 4 years, I was kind of like just going through the motions.
Right.
Like, yes, working, but not like really,
Your heart wasn't into it.
no,
Right.
not really.
You lost a little bit of the passion.
A little passion for life,
Well, yeah.
really, in
You
general.
went through a
But you just
tragedy.
go through
Yeah.
something and, you
Yeah.
gotta still stay on top of things.
Yeah, you
But
got
like,
family, you got kids, you got
mhm,
your wife, you got your bills.
then you come back and you're ready to, you're like, all right, let's get over it.
Yeah.
Be a man, get over your shit, whatever.
Right.
Then COVID.
Another
COVID comes,
tragedy.
another boom, boom, boom. You get through that.
Yeah.
So now I feel like I'm ready.
Right.
Like there's nothing that really could
No,
happen to
you've been
me.
through the worst.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I'm ready. I just
That's the
want to
way
find the right
I feel
spot
too.
and
Yeah,
like we
we'll
mentioned
help
before,
find you something.
find the right
Location.
I don't want to give a landlord all my
No,
money.
you want to buy the property, like buy the building and
Have
then
something to give to my
that's
kids.
it.
You know what I mean? Work
Get some
towards
rentals in
something.
there to help you offset some of the
Yep.
cost
Yep.
of when it's slow because the restaurant business obviously not busy all the time.
No. No, not unless you're the Giorgios.
Well, tell the audience how can they get you on? So if they want to come, obviously to the restaurant, where is it?
So the restaurant is in New Rochelle. It's Quaker Ridge Road.
Right. And do you have an Instagram page?
We do. DA underscore Giorgio77. Yes. Yeah.
Do you have Facebook? Do you do Facebook?
Facebook is the same.
Okay.
And then
How
TikTok.
about TikTok? Are you doing
I
any
think they're all
videos on
linked together.
TikTok?
Listen,
Okay.
we need to get them
Well,
going.
yeah,
I
yeah.
want to be a little bit more consistent with
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's
We
good
try,
stuff to.
and
You have your own in-house marketing people, obviously doing stuff for you.
we do. We
Right.
try and take pictures. I have
Yeah.
one of my good friends that works with me with that. Yeah, we were blessed a couple of years ago. We won Best Italian Restaurant
Right.
in Westchester,
Westchester, best of
Best Chef,
Westchester.
Best of
I
Westchester.
voted for you again this
Oh, it
year.
was so
Of course.
amazing, man.
Yeah, it's
And you know
amazing.
what was funny with that? When we won, and then honestly, like a month later, they're like, "Oh, it's time to do it again." I'm like,
Wow.
I can't call everybody
No.
again, and
Yeah,
I
it's
just
a
felt
lot. Yeah,
uncomfortable.
it's a lot.
So next year we'll give it a shot again,
Good.
because at the end of the day, I think it's a popularity contest.
It probably is.
It is,
Yeah,
Joe.
it
It
is.
is. I
But
mean, listen, we're a
I
good
see the
restaurant.
people that won this year. Some of them are really big on social media, and they got a lot of following.
There's a lot.
And
Listen, Westchester is killing it,
yeah,
especially New Rochelle.
yeah,
New Rochelle, we have Maria's.
yeah,
We have myself. We have
yeah.
Modern,
Downtown,
Posto.
there's so many
There's so
restaurants,
many really,
and
really
they're
good
building
restaurants.
buildings everywhere. It's
Beautiful,
New Rochelle.
beautiful place. New
Real.
Rochelle's killing it.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
way it
Alvin and
transformed.
Friends is like been there forever. They
Yeah, you have
kill
that
it.
other
Oh my
that
God,
place is great.
Dubrovnik.
Dubrovnik, the
Amazing
seafood.
food. Yep.
Yeah.
So New Rochelle,
Yeah, you
honestly,
picked a good
is
spot.
one of the better ones
Yeah,
as far as food goes.
definitely.
I think right around the block from us now. I don't know if it's going to be their second location, or they're just changing. Wooden Spoon
Oh yeah, they're
is
gonna be
opening
there.
up around the block for me. Yeah, that's going to be cool.
Wow,
So New Rochelle, I think, is one of the better towns for food around.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, a lot of people left the city or opened up another location after COVID because the city was shut down.
mhm.
You guys were open.
Yeah.
So you did pick up some business,
Yeah.
and people see the ease of kind of doing a little bit out of New York City with all the red tape and the
It's a
food,
lot,
and
Joe.
it's a lot. So
It's a
people
lot.
don't realize how much you have to go through
Mhm.
being a business in the city. When you go up to Westchester, even though it's the next county,
It's a lot
it's
easier.
a lot more
It's a lot
business
easier.
friendly.
Right now, I don't know if they'll ever change it like that, but it's a lot
Well,
easier.
that's why they're reaping the benefits of the
Mhm.
city business right now.
Yep.
Same
Yep.
thing with the real estate. You got the migration of Manhattan. They used to come to the Bronx and the boroughs. Now they're going right to Westchester
Yeah.
and even further up.
It's scary because you think about, like, oh my God, all these great places are gonna open up, but you know
Yeah.
what? You gotta
No,
welcome it, and it keeps you on your toes, and
that's all.
you
Makes you
got it.
better. Competition is good.
100%.
You
Without
know?
it, what are you gonna do?
No, you can't
And
just be sitting there by yourself. Well, George, thank you for coming.
my
It was
pleasure,
great.
Joe.
You did
Thank you
great,
very much.
and,
Love you guys.
continued
Thank you.
success with your business, your
Thank you.
restaurant.
Thank you.
The Giorgios, go check them out. Get the soft shell crabs, and
Soft
thank
shell
you.
crabs only here until
That's
Labor Day. You
that's
better
it.
come fast. You better
Coffee
come
with
fast.
Cosentino. Thank you for watching.
Cheers. Love you guys.
Ciao.
Thank you.